Hey guys. How are you guys doing? Have you guys been having fun? All right. So I now have the incredible honor of introducing our keynote speaker, Cody Jones. Cody Jones is a Paralympic javelin thrower for the Team USA. Cody had the opportunity to compete in Rio 2016 and is training hard for Tokyo 2020. Cody is currently ranked 6th in the world for his class, has the American record, and has been the national champion for 4 years running. He went to Simi Valley High School, where he played varsity baseball, for 3 years. Cody thoroughly enjoys public speaking, and he claims to watch too much Netflix. His current favorite show is The Flash, and is just now reading the Harry Potter series for the first time. I am honored to invite this determined, motivated, and inspiring speaker to the stage, Cody Jones.
Thank you. Whoa. Thank you. What's up? How you guys doing? Good. All right, so let's get started. We're going to be best friends. I'm going to go through a little bit of my life, my timeline, and hopefully it's not just me talking about myself. Hopefully you guys are encouraged and get something amazing out of this. But first, I need you guys to put your hands out like this if you're able to. I need you guys to put your hands up in the air. I need you guys to put your hands back down and turn the palms to the ceiling if you can. You see, you can put your hands down. You see, for me, I can't turn my left hand over. That's part of my disability. I was born with cerebral palsy. If I had my shirt off, it would be awkward, and you'd all see my awesome muscles. Not. Literally, my right side of my body is much stronger than the left side of my body. It goes all the way down with my legs. Sometimes when I'm tired, it looks like I'm drunk. I'm not. I'm just tired. I'm limping. And it's just, I promise, it's just my disability. Because when I was born, my brain didn't get enough oxygen. Let me see if there's a cool picture. That's me. My brain didn't get enough oxygen. And so when I was about a year old, and we'll get to the baseball soon, when I was about a year old, that's when my parents found out. They didn't know. They figured out something was different with me. Something was a little bit wrong. When I started doing one-armed army crawls, I was just looked like I was trying to escape the battlefield or something just to get my apple juice or something. I was just pulling myself with one arm. And they're like, what is wrong with our child? And so they took me to the doctor, and this is when kind of things turned. The doctor was like, your son may never walk. Your son may never talk. He might be in a wheelchair. He might not be a productive member of society. And my parents will love me no matter what, but at that moment, they were torn. They were feeling for me. They were hurt. It was an emotional time for them. And I don't know about you, but have you ever had a time in your life that no matter what is going on, that your timeline, your life just pauses, and that's all you could think about and all you could focus on? That was the time for my parents. For me, I was a year old, so I was probably just pooping in my diaper and just eating and just enjoying life. I was a year old, but for them, it was emotional. But fast forward a couple years, here's how cute I was as a kid, and I just got cuter, luckily. But I wanted to play baseball, even with my disability, and I'll show you a cool video in a few moments about how I did that. But I didn't let my disability stop me. I wanted to play baseball because I would go to all my dad's old man softball games. My dad's awesome, and the softball games were awesome. It was are they going to hit the ball or throw out their back? It was that type of softball, and it was amazing. We'd get pizza afterward. It was great, and I love being my dad's son. He makes me proud. It's awesome. He's here today. It's super cool. And so my parents, we found a way to play baseball. And growing up, I made some all-star teams. It was amazing. I hit the ball. I mainly got hit by the ball. It was really cool. I was able to make the high school team at Simi Valley High School. And my freshman year, people were starting to get better than me. That's just honest, right? Don't you have to accept the fact when people are better than you in order to grow? You have to accept the facts of life sometimes. And I was doing that. And it was around the times of cuts. And I was getting nervous. I don't know if we have any athletes in the room, but you might understand my feeling, or any people that do auditions or dance or whatever, and any people trying to make a team. And so I was in the moment of freshman year, cuts were around the corner, and the coaches pulled me out of weightlifting. All of them. I was like, this is not normal. It's going to happen. And they pulled me out, just me and all of them, and they were super respectful. I love all my coaches. and they start like this. They're like, Cody, we're all dealt different cards in life. You weren't dealt the physical cards. And I was like, that's true? Yeah, where are you going with this? And they're like, based on that, we have to put the best team out there on the field. It's just what we have to do. Based on that, we'd have to cut you. And I was like, oh no, I got turned in my uniform. I'm never going to be on the Dodgers. I'm not going to play with Clayton Kershaw. This is horrible. What's going to happen? My life is over. But there was a big but in the sentence. He was like, but I love your attitude. I love your knowledge of the game. I love your outlook on life. I love your special skill set. I want you on varsity right now as a sophomore, because that was the next year. And so I was on varsity for 3 years, helping out the team in a special way. Essentially, I was like a player coach. I never really played, but I loved it. It was a great opportunity for me, and it was amazing. And you guys want to know how I play baseball? Yes, okay, cool. You guys, it's okay to talk back. Do we want to play? Can we play this video from the LA Times? Is that okay? Is it on there? There we go. Hopefully, this is me.
I think I'm pretty good. I'm excited to just be different, have fun, get it down. I hear a lot of the other teams dugout go like, whoa, and awe when I do my glove flip during pregame. And other than that, they just say good game and they smile.
I just love his inspiration. I mean, without him even knowing it or, like I said, even wanting it, when you're around him, you become better. You understand how hard he works. You understand what he's gone through to get himself to where he is. And you kind of wonder, am I doing everything I can? And I think our guys think the same way, and that pushes everybody to get better.
When I was born, my brain didn't get enough oxygen, so the connection between the brain and the muscles is slightly off. So I can move it, but not the fine motor skills.
He has weakness on his left side, and his left arm does not function as most do, but he compensates with that with using his right side and an unbelievable ability to field and throw. It's flawless. He does it routinely. It's not something he does for show.
I've always been optimistic, and I know they go through that life's hard, and other kids go through a lot, and I've been blessed with a good family and good friends, and I have an inspirational story, so why not help them out and brighten their day.
What? So you're hitting?
Yeah, that's awesome. You can clap for that. You can clap. That's awesome. Super cool. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, if you didn't catch that, if you didn't catch who made that, that was done by the LA Times. I was like, what? I remember my coach before this happened. He sent me a text. It was Sunday. I was at church, and he was just like, "You're getting filmed by the LA Times." And it was like, "Oh no, I need a haircut and new baseball pants." It was awesome. And so we did that, and it was super cool. And from that article, from that video, my life changed. Like it went a whole new direction, a whole new set of opportunities. It was amazing. I got email after email about other interviews. I think Time Warner Cable eventually did a little piece, and it was on TV. I was like, what? To be honest, I was getting a little bit arrogant my senior year, and my head was getting a little bit bigger than it already is, which is hard to do. And so that was just kind of my senior year of high school, and it was amazing. But there was something really cool that happened. I got an email. And emails are just kind of another email. An email is kind of just normal. But this email was from Kathy Sellers. None of you know her. That's okay. And she is the director on the Paralympic track and field team. And she emailed my coach, Coach LaBelle, and she was like, hey, Cody throws baseball. He should throw the javelin for the Paralympics. And I was like, okay, sweet, I'm in. I just have 2 questions. What's the javelin and what are the Paralympics? Like, I had no idea what any of them were. And so I looked up what a javelin was, and it's this right here. It's really cool. It's about 8 feet tall and about 2 pounds. And don't make me angry, because I could throw it really far and really hard. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's really awesome. And so I looked what this is, and it was awesome. That was the javelin. It's super cool. And I also looked up where the Paralympics is. And what's really cool is the Winter Paralympics are actually going on right now. I don't know if you guys have been watching those, but the Winter and Summer Paralympics are basically the Olympics, just with athletes that have disabilities, like visually impaired people running the 100 meters tied with a shoelace to a guide runner. They're running super fast, step in step. It's awesome. You have people with no arms swimming. You have people with no arms shooting a bow and arrow with their mouth. Like, you name it, it's awesome. Sitting volleyball, wheelchair basketball. It's an amazing set of events. In the Winter Olympics, I think you have sled hockey. Like, it's just super cool. There's just so much. And I looked into this world, and I was like, I want to be a part of this. And it's amazing. But just like anything, elite level Olympic status, it's like you have to work hard for it. Just like every sprinter is not going to be Usain Bolt, just like every javelin thrower in the Paralympics isn't going to actually get to go to the summer or winter games. And so this was my senior year of high school, just about ready to graduate. And Rio 2016, the last Olympics and Paralympics, at this time was about 3 or 4 years out. And I was like, I want to go. That was my vision. That was my goal. That was what I was aiming for. And so I graduated high school. It was awesome. I was about ready to, I was done with high school. It was awesome. I loved it. And then I went to Cal Lutheran. It's a really cool school just down the road. It's awesome. And I went to the coach there. And the coach was awesome as well. I think you might see a theme of people really pouring into me and helping me out and saying, Cody, you got this, keep going, you're awesome. Cody, you got this, keep going, you're awesome. My parents, my coaches, and this track coach did the same thing as well. I've never touched a javelin before. I thought track and field was a punishment, like who runs for fun? Like it was just like, what is going on? And so he, without hesitation, said, yes, we want you on our team. I was invited to be a part of a team that was bigger than me. It was amazing. In my first year at Cal Lutheran, I picked up the javelin. At first, I didn't know which end to throw it with. A couple times, I flipped it in air, and it's not supposed to flip in air. It's supposed to fly straight. But eventually, I broke the American record, not once, not twice, but 3 times in one day and won the national gold the first year. It was amazing. It was really cool. And I was like, what is going on? Just like a second ago, I was a baseball player playing left field and right bench. Like it was amazing that I was on like just this journey and this path. And then the next year, so we're at about 2015, if you're following all my years, like I said, we're going through my life. So 2015, my second year throwing javelin, I was invited to be a part of the national team, Team USA. And I was like, what? Now I'm actually getting paid? I'm a professional athlete? I never would thought this would happen. And it was awesome. I got to go to World Championships, Doha, Qatar, right there. It was super cool. I got to miss school, which is always awesome. I think you guys are out of school today, right? For a little bit. Yeah, you guys are excited about that. School's amazing. Don't get me wrong. And so I missed about a few weeks doing homework in hotels. Like this was amazing. I got 5th place in the world, which was really cool. It's not gold, I know, but it's still 5th place. I was like, what? I'm representing my country. I get to throw a spear. I feel like Tarzan. Like, this is awesome. And it was just amazing to be part of something bigger than myself. And then we'll get to this, because then 2016 comes around. And 2016 is the big year. This was the Olympic year. Everyone comes out. Everyone tries their best. Everyone's like, I'm going to make the team. And I bleached my hair. I'll get to that. Don't worry. I know it's kind of awesome. Justin Timberlake-esque 2000s. I love it, but it also is horrible, but I love it too. So, but before we get there, so Rio, I'm training hard. I'm like, I'm 5th or 6th in the world in my class. I got the American record. Like, I have a really good chance. And so I'm like, I'm working hard again. And here comes tryouts, right? You guys have had tryouts before. You know what I'm talking about. We just have tryouts. It's about 4th of July. I'm trying out in North Carolina. I'm trying my best. I'm throwing, and I do average. I actually kind of fail. I miss the mark. I don't make the team. I missed it by like 3 people or 4. I don't know exactly the numbers, but I missed it. And I was like, what? And I don't know about you guys, if there's ever been like an opportunity that you've been striving for and you just miss it. You're like, I've been working all my life for this thing, and it didn't come true. That's where I was at. Luckily, I love fireworks, and 4th of July cheered me up just a little bit, but I was still bums. I was still like just devastated to the point where I did bleach my hair. To the point where I gave up javelin. It was going to be my off season, so I gave up javelin for a month. Like I needed to. My body was breaking down. I needed a break. But then a month later, at the start of my senior year of college, I get a phone call from Kathy Sellers, that same coach, and she was like, "Hey, Cody," and I was like, "Hey, Kathy," And she was like, so Russia, the whole doping scandal thing, they messed up. They got banned, and that opened up spots for other athletes to go. Do you want to be one of 7 track and field athletes for Team USA to be added on to the team? And my mouth dropped, my jaw to the floor, and I was like, what? I'm about to start my senior year, I have 2 capstones, what's going to happen? And I was like, can I call you back? I should have said yes right away, but I said, can I call you back? I call my mom. My mom starts crying. I started crying. It was a beautiful moment. I call my dad, and he does not pick up, but that's okay. That's okay. I call Kathy back, and I was like, of course I'm going to go. And she's like, okay, your plane leaves in 10 days. And I was like, whew, okay. And here's the other thing. Right before I get that phone call, we had money saved because I had a chance of going to Rio. And my parents would want to go, my family would want to go, and it's kind of expensive, right? Airline tickets, right? You guys want to travel? It's a little bit of money that we didn't have. And that literally the night before, we spent all the money on our plan B, which was a much needed new kitchen for my mom, who is awesome. And then I get the phone call the next day. I was like, what's going on? I'm glad I get to go to Rio, but if only we knew one day before. But here's what's really cool. My school, my team, my friends, people I barely even knew stepped up, and within 2 weeks we raised more money than we had saved for the past 3 or 4 years, to the fact that my parents were able to go, and my grandma was able to go, and my coach was able to go. I was just blown away by the love and support. And so we get to this day, and this is the day we're leaving for Rio, and I get on the airplane, and it's awesome. Then I get to go to Rio, and this is opening ceremony. I'm just blonde hair, love it. It's just amazing. This is the happiest moment kind of my life, or one of them, at least to the point. I was crying, tears of joy. I was jumping up and down, I'm here, I can't believe it, I made it. What? There's cameras. It was just amazing to be part of something bigger than myself. And I just couldn't believe it. It was a whirlwind of emotions. What an opportunity. And I wasn't just there to look good on camera and just march around. I was there to compete, and so I did. And even with a month off training and whatnot, I worked hard, worked my best. I got 8th place, and I know 8th place is okay, get off stage, get your gold medal and come back. I promise I'll get my gold medal in Tokyo, but still, I got to represent my country and again, skip 2 weeks of my senior year and do homework in hotels, and it was an amazing opportunity. I got to be there, and now I get to be here. And I don't want to just talk about kind of my story. I don't want to just say, I don't just want to say things about my life and brag, because I've learned that sometimes, when I talk about myself, because I love talking about myself and I hope to encourage others, sometimes it could come across as that I'm arrogant and that everything is just good. My timeline of things, everything, it's just up, like a rocket ship. And no, our timelines, our lives aren't just rocket ships going up, straight up, everything good, good, good. You guys know that that's not the case. Our timelines in life, the things that happen to us, are more like a mountain range, right? Where things are high, and then there's lows, highs, lows, and even plateaus of things that just seem to be going normal and nothing changes. And so I want to be real and honest. Is it okay if I'm real and honest? There was times growing up where people would look at me weird and be like, why are you playing baseball? Right? I had one time where I was trying out for a new league. They didn't know me, and I didn't know them. I was about 8 years old, and I was in the outfield. And outfield's already kind of lonely, right? It's just a bunch of grass, and no one else was around. And they're hitting pop flies, and I was doing my thing. I was just catching the ball, taking the glove off, and throwing it. And over the loudspeaker came this voice. And this voice said, "Get this kid the right glove. He's got the wrong glove on." And everyone was staring, and it was just eyes on me, right? I don't know if you've ever been just in those moments like that where you just feel like the whole world is staring at you and you just don't know what to do. Or there's times growing up where I just see people's look of oh, Cody, you're weaker, you're different, and they start to treat me a little bit different, and I'm just I don't know, I'm still me. I'm a person, even with my disability. And one of my quotes I love to say, what did I do? That's okay. One of my quotes I love to say is that it's not so much a disability, but a different ability. Because I've gotten to do so much with my disability. And without my disability, I'd probably just be playing video games or something. But now I get to do cool things. I get to be up here because I'm disabled. It's a blessing, not a curse. But growing up, there was a lot of those down points, a lot of the valleys, right, in the timeline. I didn't make the team originally. We spent all of our money. People doubted me like I'm weaker. I am disabled. That is a thing. It can be hard at times. Extra doctor's appointments, therapy, you name it. It's hard. But then there was super good highs, like Rio, obviously, and all these cool things. And here, I love being here. You guys are awesome. I hope I get to know you. But here's the main point. I was trying to think of what to exactly say to you guys and not just talk about myself. And so it hit me this week, actually, at practice. I'm still throwing. I'm throwing at Cal Lutheran. It's awesome. We don't have a track yet. I'm hoping for a track. But we have a grass field, which is awesome. And actually, this is the photo of the field. It's not the best photo, but it's what I could do on my Samsung S6 or whatever. And so behind this photo is actually where the Rams practice, which is really cool. I hope to one day meet them. They never say hi back, but I hope that changes. Like, I would love to be able to teach them the javelin. I feel like, is it Jared Goff? I feel like he could throw the javelin pretty far. Like it would be awesome. I feel like if I ever join the NFL, I'd want to go on the Rams. Like, they could use me, right? But no, seriously. But then, let me see if you can see, kind of in that left corner, there's this runway. And this runway is about 80 feet of just rubber that we made. And that's kind of what I run up and do my whole javelin thing. If you haven't seen the javelin event, it's really cool. Essentially, what you want to do with the javelin is run as fast as you can, and then stop as fast as you can, and then kind of launch the javelin and let it go really far. It's not natural, and it hurts your body, but it's worth it, and it's awesome. You have to stretch a lot, and I need to stretch a lot more than what I've been doing. But a little bit further, about 120 to 130 feet, there's this grass patch, and I don't know if you could clearly see the grass patch. No, you can't, but that's okay. Just imagine it's there in your minds. You guys can imagine. There's this grass patch. It's different color. And growing up in javelin, my first few years, that was my goal. I was like, what do I need to do to get there? What do I need to do to get to the grass patch? What do I need to do to get to that mark? And what would that distance unlock? And eventually, I got to the grass patch. And now this javelin is past the grass patch. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm past the grass patch. And then not shown in the picture, there's a line about 30 to 40 feet past that javelin. It's about the 50-yard line on this practice football field. And that's my next goal. That's the thing that I'm like, what do I need to do to get there? And I bet you guys have goals in your life. Think about your timeline. Think about the past. And also think about the future. What is on your timeline right now? What is your line? What is your goal? What are you going to strive toward? And then have you thought about the steps to get there? Have you thought about what you need to do day in and day out? We have these things called SMART goals. And right now I'm honestly blanking on what SMART goals means, but it's okay. The SMART, I'll just make it up. SMART stands for steps. You have to have steps to achieve your goals. The M is measurable. How are you going to measure your goals? The A is attainable. Sometimes our dreams are awesome, but to be honest, SMART goals should be attainable. And I know that's weird to say, but you get there, you build. R is realistic, and T is a timetable. In order to have a SMART goal, you have to have all those. You have to be like, okay, what do I need to do? How long is it going to take? What do I need to do to get there? How long is it going to happen? And then eventually you will get there. I had SMART goals for Rio, and I got there. And so I'm still chasing that line. That line will be a world record. That is my goal. I want to break the world record this year. I'm promising you guys that I will do it. And if I don't, you could say, why didn't you do it? But here's the deal. That line, what do I need to do to get there? If we apply that to life, it could get kind of confusing. Because in a world of opportunities, there could be plenty of theirs. You guys kind of get what I'm saying? There could be plenty of decisions we have to make, of goals we could chase, and I think, especially in high school, right? We are bombarded with a lot of options. Do this, do that, go here, be this person, do, go, go. And we're just like, what is going on? Sometimes when there's a world of opportunities, all we want to do is curl up in bed, read a book, or watch a movie because it's so hard to decide. And here's what we could do to help. I have a better question we could ask ourselves. A better question, not the question, what do we need to do to get there every day, is awesome. But here's a question that we could add. And here's what I thought of when I was throwing the javelin this Tuesday to really share with you guys. Instead of asking ourselves, what do we need to do to get there? We could ask ourselves, who do I want to become in here? And I don't know if that sounds cheesy or whatever, but it's so true. Because a lot of the times we think opportunities only exist when we get to the line or when we pass the grass patch or if we ever get that mark or whatever it is in your life. But the reality is that opportunities exist every step of the way. Every millimeter, every centimeter, every foot, every step of the way in our life, there's an opportunity to build our character. And when we build our character, all the other opportunities start to just kind of come in line. All these opportunities are like, do I do this? Do I do that? We start to like recognize what we really do want to do when we start to understand who we want to become. Kind of some examples, like if you decide to be a person that is super caring, and you work on being caring, then you know that you want to take jobs, maybe with nonprofits, or you want to do things that really help other people. If you decide to be someone that's really driven, really goal-oriented, or whatever how that word is said, like you really want to then maybe go into business or whatever, and that is what you will do once you know who you want to become in here. And so early on, I was like, I'm going to be a person of no excuses. That's one of my things. I say excuses prevent you from living a life that is valuable. And maybe just someone in here needed to hear that. Maybe if that's all you get today, that's awesome. Excuses, all these silly little things like I'm too tired, I'm too weak, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough Instagram followers. You know what I'm talking about? I know we laugh, but it's true. We think that, I am not valuable enough to do this. So I decided early on, I'm going to have no excuses. I wasn't going to let my disability stop me when people doubted me of playing. I wasn't going to let my disability stop me when I heard people in the dugouts go, what is his deal? I wasn't going to let my disability stop me when I saw my teammates throw the javelin much further than I did because they were able-bodied. I'm not going to let my disability stop me in the future. Hopefully one day when I run for president, did I just say that? But 2032, vote for me. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. That'll be super cool. Hopefully this is not my first time or not my last time in the library. But so here's the deal. I decided to be a person with no excuses, and it's paid off. All these opportunities with the javelin, with Rio, with being here happened because I did not give up. I did not make an excuse. In our timelines, the best time to really have our character developed is in those lows. I didn't give up. I did not make any excuses when I didn't make the Rio team. I did not make any excuses when I felt lonely or different because of my disability. Right? And I also decided to be a person of a positive attitude. You remember my story of when the voice came over the loudspeaker and they were all staring at me and he was like, why do you have the wrong glove? I had a choice in that moment. We all have choices in moments like these. And my choice wasn't to get angry, wasn't to get upset or throw a fit or make a scene. My choice was to smile, be understanding. He didn't know. It wasn't his fault. And to be loving and caring and positive. I smiled, I laughed, and guess what? That guy was the president of the league, and he ended up being my coach. And it was amazing, and we had a great time there. And if I gave up in that moment, if I made an excuse or gave up out of anger, I would not be here today. So the question remains, who do you want to become in here? Because there's a world of opportunity. But if you don't know who you are in here, those opportunities may as well never exist. So you guys, every day, develop who you are in here. And that's kind of all I have to say. I feel like I'm wrapping up early, but is it opening up for question and answer time? What are we doing right now? You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Are we doing question and answer? What's going on? You guys are awesome. We have a question. Am I just answering all the questions right now from stage? Yeah. How old am I? 22. Yeah, it's awesome. 22.
So if anyone has a question for Cody, just raise your hand. We've got some handheld mics that we'll take
Love
around.
it.
This is being videoed, so we want to make sure that your thoughts are captured.
Yeah, love it. Where are my Simi High people at? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love all you guys. You guys are awesome. You're good. How did I what?
How did you feel when you were making like all the teams, like one of your teammates was like going around and like, whoa, and they kept like saying like, he can catch that with his hand? What?
Ooh, like on baseball, you're saying how did I feel when I was on baseball? It felt pretty cool because like it was unique. It was like the only one doing it, and so that was my outlook. I didn't feel sometimes like an outcast. I tried to have the perspective of like, I have a cool spot where I could show people that people with disabilities could do cool things. So I felt like it was an honor or a privilege. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah, I love it. Good question. That's awesome. I love it.
How far have you, have you thrown the javelin?
Good question. So my current personal best is 47.15 meters, but who's keeping track? And that is about, that's roughly 140 to 150 feet. So about half a football field. Yeah, the goal is 53. Goal is 53. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Have you ever tried running distance?
Running distance? No. No. Does a mile count? No, probably not. Do you run distance?
I do.
You do? That's awesome. You guys are crazy awesome. I love it. But yeah.
Because of your interest in the javelin, have you ever tried any other throwing things like shot put or discus?
Good question. So originally I did do discus as well. And I have the American record in that, but I dropped that because they took it out of the Rio events, and so early on I was like, I'll just focus on what's going to be in Rio. So I did a little bit of discus with the spinning. I picked up the hammer once. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the hammer. That's not in high school, but that's crazy. I don't know how they do that, but it's so good question. Good question. Do we have one in the back? Where are you at? Where are you at? Over here?
Who were like your biggest influencers or like motivators through your struggles as you got to where you are today?
Good question. So I think the big one, and maybe one for a lot of us, is my family. My parents are here. Can we give them a nice big round of applause, actually? I know you can't see them, but that's awesome. So my parents did not give up on me, and they did not let me turn my disability into an excuse. I think sometimes parents of disabilities kind of enable their children to say no or feel entitled. They did not let that happen. Also, I want to say my coaches growing up. So my coaches, again, and my teachers, all of them were like, you got this, you're awesome, keep going, you could do it. You got this, you're awesome, keep going, you could do it at every single level that I've competed at. So it's been an amazing support group, and that's a good point. I want to talk on something real quick. So I've had that support, and I've gone through a lot, but here's the deal. A lot of people go through struggles similar to mine or much worse, and they don't have that support. So here's my challenge, and thank you for asking this question. Here's my challenge to you guys. One, as leaders in your community and in your schools, be that person that, one, doesn't let people give up. Be that person that is there for people when they need it. Like, even if you need it too, just be there for each other. Can we do that? Yes, we could do that. That's awesome. Great question. Do we have any more questions? I love it. You guys are awesome. I feel like I'm sweating.
What's your daily routine when you, voice crack. What's your routine when you practice javelin throwing?
Yeah, so daily routine is, so I still work full time, which is hard. I get to work at schools with little kids, so it's a lot of fun. They're awesome. But when I get back, I head over to Kalu. I stretch a little bit, I run a little bit, and then we do these things called picking, which is just kind of like warm-ups for javelin. You just like pick a spot and just throw it a little bit. And then I do a progression. So I start I'm giving you a quick little javelin rundown. If I nerd out, it's okay. So you do these things called stands, which, like the name says, are just you stand and you throw. And then you do these things called 5 steps, which is like you run sideways 5 steps and then you throw. And then I do halves and then I do full. So I do about 20 throws Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm in the gym lifting for about 2 to 3 hours. And then normally compete on Saturdays. So Yeah, good question. And then stretch afterward. Nice.
What was your college major?
College major. So I actually had two. Nothing special. I mean, no, they were some of the easier. I'm just gonna say, marketing comm and psychology. It was awesome. So I love how the human brain works, and I want to kind of ethically manipulate people to do what I want. I don't know if that's. So it's a good question. Yeah. I think where we at. You guys are awesome.
What was the environment in Rio like?
Where are you at? I can't see you. Sorry. Over here? Okay.
Were they supportive in Rio?
Yeah, so the locals there, it was really awesome. And I think, I could be wrong, but like there was almost like more support for the Paralympics there than the Olympics, because I know leading up to Rio, there was a lot of negative things in the news or whatnot. And so I think the Olympics, people were hesitant. But when the Olympics were done and over with, everyone was like, whoa, it could be done. And so everyone like flocked to the Paralympics, and it was really cool. And it was just cool to be in the Olympic Village, where all like the whole world comes together in the Olympic Village. It was awesome. It was amazing. Great question. Got one over here.
So you're looking at running for president, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When and what made you decide that?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was just one day, so I love goals and dreams and big, like, scary, audacious goals. And it was literally one day I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't think, and I could be wrong, there's no stats to back this up, I love stats, but I was like, I don't see kids dreaming big anymore, right? I was like, kids used to dream of being astronauts and president and whatnot. And so I was like, you know, why not lead the charge? So I'll be president. 2032, I have my VP pick. It's gonna be awesome. So I was about 13, 14, and I announced it at my high school graduation, kind of briefly, and then now I'm still going. So yeah, good question. It's a joke, but not. Yeah.
Okay, so what's something you know now that you wish you knew in high school?
Ooh, good question. Something that I know now than in high school, and that is probably that it's okay to take a break. I don't know if like you're ever told that, especially in high school. I think you guys are told, do this, write this essay, this application, this scholarship, and all those are good. But man, if you guys are stressed out to the point where you're not enjoying life, what's the point, right? It's okay to enjoy life a little bit. It's okay to not take that AP class or whatever class if that's going to give you 8 hours of homework a day. It's okay to go to the beach or read a book. So I feel like I might get in trouble for saying that, but it's the truth. Like, we tell adults that, so why not tell you guys that, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Was it hard for you to enter high school with kids wanting to pick on you, or adults as well?
Good question. So here's the deal with that. At least in my memory, hopefully I'm not changing it, I never thought like people were picking on me. Luckily, people were cool around me. Hopefully they weren't picking on me behind my back. And so that was pretty good. But there was always at baseball, especially baseball, just kind of this knowledge that I was different. And so that was kind of hard. But here's the deal for you guys. I think you guys know this, but hopefully just to add that voice is like, why do we need to beat up on each other? Like we all have our stuff, right? So why make it even harder for people to enter into a new place or high school? Let's make it a little bit easier for people to come together. Great question. I love that you brought that up. Yeah.
So when you played baseball, you had to field a certain way. So how did you hit?
How did I hit? So I hit normally, and mainly though I got hit by the ball. But I'm just kidding. So I hit normally. I just wasn't super strong. I walked a lot, and I bunted. So I made use of my speed. I'm kind of fast. Not really, but kind of. And so good question. So hit normally, just not super strong. Yeah?
So what was your original motivation for playing baseball in high school?
Originally, motivation for playing baseball in high school. So growing up is when I saw my dad play baseball. Like the Dodgers were always a part of our family, what we did. We would go to games growing up. We did a 3-week trip to New York. We drove to New York. And on the way, we stopped at 11 different baseball stadiums. So it's been like since my grandpa to my dad, baseball's been a part of our family. And so why not try to make your high school team? Like I was working up to that. And so I'm glad I made it fair and square freshman year. And so that was kind of my motivation. Like, it's been a part of the family. Yeah.
I think you said you did 2 capstone projects at Cal Lu?
Yeah.
What were those?
So I did 2 capstone projects. I had 2 majors. one capstone project was, this is kind of cool, you guys might like this. I did a research paper on the effects of memes and political kind of things. And then I also did one on the effects of colors in consumer behavior. And so I found that if you just switch the color of a stick figure in a commercial, I did a 45-second commercial, had the same words, and I switched the color of the stick figure, that you could get people to pay more for something by just the colors in the commercial. So it was pretty cool. Like, that was simple. So that's what I did. I love color theory. I love colors. I love memes were interesting. I don't know why I did that, but good question. Yeah, you could do that in college. Yeah.
Reflecting back on your life, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? Good question. So I probably, like, even though I said enjoy life, it's okay to take a break, some enjoyment things you could overdo, and I've overdone television. Like, I know some of you are like, but it's television. Sometimes I waste all my Friday nights just watching The Flash or Netflix, where I could be hanging out with my friends and building those relationships and enjoying life that way. So it's okay to put down the remote and the screen sometimes. Yeah? Where are we at? Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Were you ever stressed? How did you deal with the stress?
So I'm still learning how to deal with the stress. I feel like we're all learning to deal with the stress. But what I've found lately is sometimes you just have to get away. The first thing that you have to do to deal with stress is find what works for you. So there's a lot of things that could help deal with stress that are healthy. I feel like you guys know a lot of the unhealthy ways, but healthy ways, I mean, it's true, there's unhealthy ways to deal with stress, like getting angry, getting mad, but there's also healthy ways of, for me, that's why I'm reading the Harry Potter books. I think reading a book helps me de-stress. Going outside, I just got a bike for Christmas, so I'm going to ride that bike a little bit more. And going to the gym are ways that I deal with stress. So I put in my headphones, no one talks to me. Hopefully, some people talk to you in the gym when you're wearing headphones. Why do they do that? But then like, I go to the gym at like 10 o'clock at night and just de-stress. Good question. Yeah.
Do you have any other hobbies that use this disability? Like, I'm leaning towards so the mic doesn't get in the way.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, okay. So do you have any disability, do you have any hobbies that like go with this disability?
Yeah, just like fun things I like to do. So I like to help out with adaptive sports clinics. I don't know if that's a hobby. There's just some really cool programs out there that help kids and adults that never knew about adaptive sports, just like I never knew about adaptive sports, so I was basically an adult. And so they help kids out, so that's really cool. Also, I like to juggle one-handed, which is just fun. I can only do two things at once. I don't think I have two things to juggle. Tangerine. If you guys have two tangerines right now, if you want to get them to me, you could do that. Go. She wants to do it, so I can do a juggle. Just do two. So we're doing this apparently. It's awesome. I feel like I started the water bottle flipping craze, but just no one knew about it. So like I was good at bottle flipping, kind of. Oh, the pressure's on, so it's just like this. Yeah, so I'm still working on getting 3 tangerines. I'm gonna put this clicker down. I don't need it. But yeah, any other questions? Oh, now I'm gonna just be doing that all day. Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody with a disability?
Ooh, that's good. So my biggest advice would be don't let your disability define all of who you are. It's a part of you, but you can't let it like take over. You can't let it stop you from doing things, because especially the day we live in now, like there's so many things. If you want to do something, there's a way for you with a disability to get it done. It's really cool. And we have so much more support than we've had in the past years, so there's no reason, whatever your disability is, because there's invisible disabilities, physical, mental, you name it, but there's always a way to overcome and achieve and adapt if you have to. Where are we at? Yeah.
I remember in your introduction they said that your favorite TV show is The Flash.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm analyzing a little too much, but do you like relate or empathize with Barry Allen, like a man who continuously like achieves higher and higher goals?
Oh,
and
that's
like,
cool. This guy thinks deep. So I do. I haven't watched all of it. I'm still catching up, so don't spoil anything if you've seen it all. But yeah, I do. I love superheroes because they just I love especially the superheroes that like were ordinary people at one point, like Captain America and the Flash, and then like something happened to them that makes them different and unique. It sounds like a disability. Something happened to me, different and unique, and instead of letting it stop them, they do good things with it. So just like Barry Allen, I want to do good things with how my body is like. So love it. I'm gonna think about it like that. Yeah, super cool. Yeah.
What's your favorite meme?
Favorite meme?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many out there. I don't know, to be honest, right now. What's up? Top 5. I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Show me your favorite memes when we get a chance. So I love it. Yeah.
So I'm an athlete. I'm a track athlete,
Yeah.
and I know it can be stressful before a race.
Yeah.
But you're an Olympic athlete, so I'm
Yeah.
just wondering how you cope with the mental.
With the stress?
With the stress right before a race.
Before a race, great question. So there's a lot. And one, it's okay, I'm going to normalize this. It's okay to see a sports psychologist. It's okay. You're not weak if you have someone to help you. That's their job. So I've seen a few of those to help me at the Olympic training centers and whatnot. Also, I'm learning the power of music. So find what works for you. I got a few songs that every practice I put on, like it starts here and it ends here. And before a race, I put those on. But then the hard part is when at the big events, you have to put all your electronics away before you get to the field. And so just breathing exercises are big. You just take 3 seconds in and 6 seconds out, and then hold for 3 seconds, and then 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, hold for 3 seconds, and that really helps. Another thing that's really cool, I love body language is powerful, like how you stand. So if you stand like Wonder Woman, like this, like for like 2 minutes, or Superman or whatever, that actually like signals your brain that you're like victorious and you're bigger and you're awesome. So the more you spread out, the more like your body thinks that you're powerful and awesome. So that's some cool science that I learned. And TED Talks are pretty cool. Where we at? Right here.
Okay, so I know you mentioned that you were in varsity baseball for 3 years.
Yeah.
Were you into any other activities during your high school years?
To be honest, not really. Baseball was kind of it. It would be like school ends, and then you still have practice for 2 to 3 hours, and then homework. So it was kind of a lot. That's another thing I wish I was able to do more of in high school. But baseball was kind of like it takes up a lot of your time being an athlete, especially in high school too. So yeah, good question. Yeah, yeah.
How do you motivate yourself to keep going even when you're faced with difficult circumstances?
That's good. Sometimes it's really hard. Like sometimes your bed just seems like your best friend, right? And excuse me. And so you have to make sure you constantly surround yourself with good people. And so my friends, my family, I got a small group of people I hang out with every Monday night, and there's this cool phrase I kind of use, like fill your bucket. And they help fill my bucket back up because, like, imagine your life is a bucket, and if it's really empty, you don't have enough energy to fill it up. Like, the lower you go before it fills, like a gas tank, I guess. Like you have to make sure you fill up your gas before you run out, just like you have to fill up yourself before you run out. And so I have people in my corner, in my life, to help fill me up before I totally just, like, am dead or overwhelmed or whatever. So great question. Make sure you got good people in your life. Yeah.
I know the feeling of wanting to give up, like, kind of combats any athlete at some time in their career.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that way? And if so, how did you push that out?
Yeah, great question. To be honest, yeah, there was a big question in my mind about 2 years in, because training it's like your life. Professional athlete is like a full-time, it's who you are. It's a lifestyle, not just a job. And so I was really debating quitting. There were some points where I wasn't getting better. I was stuck in the grass patch. I don't know if you guys have ever been stuck in the grass patch of your life where, like, it just doesn't seem to be getting better or better. Like, what is happening? And so I really wrestled with the question of, should I give up? Or should I free up my time, my schedule? But luckily, I did not. And what helped me was I realized the platform I had and the opportunities I had. And so you guys are in cool spots. Like, you guys know people and could influence and encourage people that I will never meet. So you guys, like, whatever it is for you guys to never give up on, what I thought of and what helped push it out was the people that I would get to encourage and influence. I thought of my little brother who's 7, and I was like, what example would that set if I just gave up halfway through? I thought of all the time and energy I've already put into it, and I was like, why would I give up? This is really cool. Like, that would almost seem like a waste of time. And I thought of kind of, I guess, you guys or just the future people that I was like, this would be really cool to share with. And if I gave up, I would never have gotten to share any of this with you guys. Yeah.
Oh, also, could I ask your Hogwarts house?
Hogwarts house. Good question. I think I gotta be safe and just say Gryffindor. I know. What's up? What's up? I don't know. So I'm still deciding. You could tell me what you think I'd fit in, but I don't know. I guess I would Harry, man. Yeah.
Wow, sorry.
It's all good.
So you talked about that you got gold, but you never really shared that experience. What was getting gold like?
Oh, at Nationals?
Yes.
Yeah, so Nationals is really cool. It's all the U.S. athletes come together, and getting gold was pretty cool. I was like, what, I have a medal? I'm top in the United States? Like, I have the record? Something that I sometimes don't talk about fully, like, I don't want you guys to think less of me now. There's not too many athletes that compete at my level in the United States, and so I still should consider it an accomplishment to get gold, but like, I want some more competition. So if you guys know anybody that wants to compete against me with cerebral palsy or whatever, like, let's go. Like, let's get each other to go better and better and better. So send them my way. Like, so I still won gold, but it was almost like I know I was gonna win gold. Does that kind of make sense? So yeah, it's still awesome, but expected. I don't know if that's arrogance or not, but yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever been noticed for like just walking around like down the street and someone is like, hey, like I've seen
Hey,
you
it's
on
Cody. Sometimes. So I get to speak a lot at elementary schools. What I'm really excited about is you guys are like some of the first group of high schoolers I get to speak to. And high schoolers, you guys are like able to understand cool things, so I actually say big words and talk a lot and not just say, hey, here's a javelin, baseball, yay. Like, and so some like little elementary kids, it's really cool that I get to see them around town and whatnot. So yeah. Yeah, back there.
What was your favorite moment from the Rio Olympics?
Favorite moment, I think, has to be opening ceremony when you saw me walking around. Like, I was just walking out. I saw like a stadium full of people chanting USA, USA, and I was getting to walk behind the flag instead of watching on TV and seeing the front of the flag. Like, it was like, what? Like, I'm here, I'm supporting the country. Like, it was just super cool and amazing. And like I said, I cried like 3 times within a matter of like 10 minutes. Like, it was amazing. So yeah, where are we at now? You guys are awesome. Are we right here? Yeah.
What is your driving belief system, like the core of your person? You know, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What has pushed you to be where you are now?
Yeah, without going into too much, the biggest thing, and since you asked it, I just gotta say I am a Christian, so all those beliefs really is amazing. That's what really drives me, and so all of that stuff of just doing things for other people and being an encouragement, and hopefully, I love to use the word inspiration. Like, some people that are disabled, they're like, don't consider me an inspiration. For me, I think our goal is to always inspire people to do better and to get better. And so for me, if you look at my body and you're inspired by what I do, like, why not? So that's kind of like my driving goal is like, how many people can I inspire? And so I want to inspire you guys to inspire other people, because you guys could do some cool things that I could never do. And so, good question.
This is going to be our last question.
Sounds good.
You said you had a little brother, right?
Yeah.
Does he do the same things as you?
He's awesome. Yeah, he's my little brother, my best friend, my roommate. And so he is 7. He just turned 7 yesterday on Pi Day. And so it was awesome. We got pizza, like pie. And so he is a baseball fan. He's on the little Dodgers, and he's already saying "Boo Giants," which is we say don't say that. And so it's awesome. He's an athlete to his core. He loves on other people, and so I wish he could be here, but he's at school or something like that. I should have just brought him. He would be running around if I brought him. He's awesome. So yeah, his name is Caleb. Wish him luck. He's super cool. And just without going too much into the story, what's even more amazing is that we were able to adopt him about 4 or 5 years ago. And so originally, I didn't have a little brother, and then all of a sudden in high school, there was a crib in my room. And so now he's never left, and he's never gonna leave. He's our family, and so it's awesome. It's awesome. And so also, real quick, just to be fair, I have a sister like just graduated Simi High, Cassidy, if you know her. Now she's at Moore Park. So yeah, but she's cool too, I guess. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, it's kind of my family. Am I walking off stage? What am I doing? What's up?
All right, can we please give a round of applause to Cody? Thank you so much.
Love it.